Residents often tell the staff that they love them, and vice versa, and you witness it, and it's palpable when you can walk in a room and you can see that level of appreciation and respect that they share, and that is something wonderful to witness.
Last year on one of the nomination forms I picked up, I was just so touched for a family member to have said, I know who's on duty by the look on my mother's face. And to me, that was just the consummate recognition and just evidence of the care and compassion that we would like all our staff to have. It was absolutely wonderful.
In the clinic was one afternoon. It was around 4 o'clock and the day shift was leaving, and one of the staff workers had her coat on, she had a pocketbook, and she was ready to leave. And all of a sudden, she was going out the door, and one of the residents and his wife came in, and he had fallen, and he had a nosebleed. And she just looked at him and the wife, and all of a sudden she just took everything off, and she took him right back and took care of him. And the family was just grateful.
They're here for the residents. I hear it all the time. You know, we're in their home. We're here to take care of the residents. You know, that's what do they like about Westminster Canterbury? Always the number one thing is, you know, we love taking care of the residents. And that shows because as a manager and a supervisor, we hear that from the family all the time. You know, just the thank you for everything you do. It means so much. So we celebrate the staff.
We have temporary residents in healthcare. We have permanent residents in healthcare. And we always hear the good things about our residents, and our temporary residents actually leave and go home and come back and visit their staff that took care of them, which is a really nice thing.
It's the relationships that they form with residents. We have so many people who live here that don't have family member close by. Maybe they're hours away and get to visit a few times a year. And so really the staff develop those relationships, and they get to fill in almost as a secondary family for lots of our residents. And to see the way that they interact with staff and get to laugh and joke, you can really see that the love is real and it's mutual. It goes both ways.
The feedback that I traditionally hear about a nursing assistant or a nurse is the sense of family, that our residents and their families really perceive the staff as family. And you don't see that everywhere. That's a very unique piece of what we offer to our community, is that sense of family and partnership. As I tell people, we are just partners in a resident's care, and our staff show that every day in listening to the residents, knowing what their preferences are, and supporting that family through what can be a very difficult time.
This statement really touched me, so I want to share this statement with you. It says, to care is to be present to those who suffer, and to stay present even when nothing can be done to change their situation. I thought that said it all.
We've had some residents that the staff has become very close with, that when they came at their time of passing, that the staff really needed a lot of emotional support to take care of them. Luckily, we have pastoral care here, and they help get our staff through those hard times. But there's been many residents who I've watched the staff grow close relationships with, not only the resident, but the resident's family as well.
Well, the unique thing about Westminster Canterbury is they take everyday ordinary interactions and make them extraordinary. Doing the extraordinary is the norm here. I can speak most eloquently about what I observe every day, which is on the second floor of Parsons Healthcare, where we have our dementia population. And those residents are the most vulnerable. You know, to work with them requires patience and a gentle way about you. The thought that comes into my head most often is I believe that integrity is doing the right thing when no one is looking, and I see that every day in that environment.
One of the most amazing things that I did witness was when we had a recent electrical fire that took place in healthcare. What a pleasant surprise it was to be able to walk on the unit and see how uniformed everybody was, how calm our staff was, how they were just easily able to, especially on my floor because I work on the memory unit. So that could be a challenge in itself to try to group a large number of people to try to move them off the floor. But everybody that was there, just when you think they didn't know what to do, because we go through this, the trial runs and over, and you can only hope they're going to do the right thing when the real thing occurs. The real thing occurs, and it was as if they've been doing it all their lives. They were able to move like a well-oiled machine. They got everybody where they needed to get them. We were able to get them away to safety. We were able to give them their food, their breakfast, and you would have thought these residents, at best, they thought they were at an outing.
So one of the best things about being the CEO here at Westminster Canterbury is I get these wonderful expressions of gratitude from residents and their families after a time when there's been a particularly hard moment or an emergency or an unfortunate resident passing. Families are so grateful for the dedication and compassion and caring that our nurses show to them, and it makes us proud to be part of the team, and I just want to say thank you.
I can give you several examples, but one that comes to mind is we had a resident who was with us, a permanent resident who was dying, and one of the things that she really wanted to experience was she wanted to have a lobster meal. And all of our nursing staff on this floor got together and put together this beautiful lobster meal for her. And I actually had the opportunity to have dinner with her that night. And we had wine, we had lobster, and it was just wonderful. And we took pictures, and her family really appreciated the action.
Here at Westminster Canterbury, we are incredibly blessed to have a group of nurses that work in Parsons Healthcare Center, our assisted living, and our clinic. They are all incredibly professional. There is a commitment to quality in everything that they do, and they're really fun to work with. And we just, on behalf of Westminster Canterbury, want to thank all of our nurses for being part of the team.